Unicorn Overlord. It is one of the best tactical RPGs from last year, and that's a strong statement, and some of you may not agree, but I feel like this game can completely back it up. I'm not just saying that from my platinum experience with this game, no. I've actually already made a video on this game a year ago when I played it on the Switch, and my opinion on it hasn't changed. Look, let me be completely honest when I say I was super hesitant to go back to this game and try for the platinum. Not because I didn't enjoy the game the first time. Like I said, I already told you how I feel about it, or because I thought the game was too difficult. No, it's because a lot of the guides say that this game will roughly take about 60 hours to get the platinum. And the first time I played through this game, it was an absolute blast, but I do remember it took me about 2 to 3 weeks to finish this game. I never went back to it though, even though I really wanted to go back eventually. The whole reason games like this either keep a permanent player base or prolong it at least is due to the simple fact that you have endless options to build any type of team that you can. And all the different options for player classes make it so much more fun to try to find classes that go super well together and can completely wipe out your enemies. Plus this game has an online feature to it, which can allow you to test your best units against other players, which is even more incentive to come back to try to be the very best. That's not a Pokemon reference. But anyways, my name is Mitch and welcome to GamerRN. I hope you enjoyed the video, so let's get into it. Real quick, if you've never heard of this game, Unicorn Overlord is a tactical RPG where you will be following Elaine, who is an exiled prince who had a kingdom taken away from him. Now he is traveling across the continent of Fevrith to gather new allies and liberate different nations to help aid him in his fight against the Zenoiran Empire. You will have access to over 60 different characters to pick and choose from to create different units. To start off the platinum journey, I began looking up a guide to see how long the trophy would take me, but to be totally honest, I couldn't exactly find a trophy guide itself. What I found was more people telling me how long it took them to complete it, and it seemed like the average consensus was about 60 hours. So I jumped into the game, looking at the trophy list, and there was about 50 different trophies I needed to gain in order to reach the platinum, which means there's 51 in total. I know from previously playing this game, it would definitely take me some time and it wasn't going to be a quick one. I was anticipating at least 50 hours to finish this game. For the sake of my own sanity and for the sake of the platinum video itself, I decided to play this game on story mode, try to push through it a little bit faster. And you can say what you want, but when I first played this game, I actually played it on expert mode, so I did my time with it, especially since I didn't want to spend 2 weeks on it, since I will probably have to do everything in it for the platinum, and I've already done everything in it at least one time before. So with that, I decided to jump right into it and get the journey started. Now the game starts off with you learning about the kingdom of Cornea, and you watch as it becomes under siege by the queen's trusted generals. Unsure why he is doing this, the queen trusted one of her knights to make an escape with her son Elaine, who will end up being the main character of the game. After a little bit more setting up and learning the game, we're finally able to jump into the game itself. The first thing we did was discover the unicorn ring and get the first trophy of the run, the unicorn ring. Shortly after that, I managed to wipe out a 3-man squad in one go and got the trophy 3 birds with 1 stone. I progressed the story a bit further, managed to upgrade my own units and managed to take out a 4-man unit and got the trophy 4 birds with 1 stone. Then I managed to earn enough renown to upgrade my rank to D and got the trophy Nascent Days. I decided to continue the main story and finally rescued Scarlet and got the trophy The Priestess Abducted. With enough renown now, we upgraded to rank C and got the trophy Whispers in the Dark. In the overworld, I managed to take down a unit that had 5 members and got the trophy 5 birds with 1 stone. I also finished 30 quests for the trophy It's a Start. After finishing more of the story and successfully helping Prince Gilbert, I managed to get the trophy Another Prince. After that, I decided to help Gilbert reclaim his kingdom, and after successfully driving Zenoira out of Drakenhold, I got the trophy Heir to the Dragonlands. I also got the trophy Rookie Traveler for traversing 30% of the map. I also managed to unlock all the unit slots the game had to offer, which got me another trophy, the Loyal Legion. I also remember you could interact with characters you station at certain towns, and I gave a random character a bunch of gifts to max out the relationship, which got me a trophy, Unbreakable Bond. I managed to earn enough renown and upgrade to rank B finally, and got the trophy Growing Cries of a Revolution. With achieving renown rank B though comes with promotions, which means you can promote certain characters to make them even better, which meant I could now promote Elaine to be an absolute unit on his own. After the first promotion, I got the trophy Reaching New Heights. Now at this point through the story, I was continuing through Elfheim, which is just basically you assisting the elves in protecting their home and their forest from Zenoira and helping them to regain the forest itself. After a few more main story missions and remembering the story mission I hated the most because the sorcerer can teleport away instead of just being beaten, but whatever, I managed to walk away with 2 more trophies, Over Wood and Water and The Witch's Word. At this point, I decided to take a break from the main story and decided to work on restoring some towns, since that was going to be a vital piece in finishing the platinum. But I decided to make a pit stop at a town and ate 10 meals at the tavern and got the trophy Seasoned Gourmet. I actually originally forgot that this was a trophy. I was honestly just trying to build rapport between certain characters because I thought it would be kind of cool. Now within the story, we reach Mysterious, which is the land of the Beastrels or Beast. While I was here, I managed to achieve a few things before progressing the story too far. I got to renown rank A, which got me a trophy Beloved by All. I also completed my 60th quest for the trophy Leading by Example. I also traversed 60% of the map for the trophy Veteran Traveler. Now, I started progressing this main story again, and I collected the trophy Legacy of Lion Kings. I also remembered right after this quest that I could actually upgrade my unit size rise to 5 since I was now renowned rank A, and I had been saving up for it for a little bit because it actually required 200 honor, so I finally upgraded one of my units, which got me the trophy of Fearsome Fivesome. Now in one of the last story missions within Bisterius, I realized one of my units would actually manage to completely wipe out an enemy unit, and they would end up doing about 100 damage to one of the enemy units. And I knew there was a trophy for dealing over 100 damage to a single unit, but I didn't get the trophy, and I was just auto-skipping battles, so I wasn't actually watching them most of the time. So the next time I noticed one of my units would hit someone for over 100 damage, I decided to watch the combat itself and see if the trophy would pop, and it actually did. So I got the trophy, a Superior Strike. Then I managed to beat the final boss of Bisterius and got the trophy, a Fleeting Dream. With that, we were finally done with Bisterius, and we could finally move on to the final area before the final boss. Reaching Albion by boat, I managed to progress a little ways, but decided I needed to revamp some of my units. Up till this point, I had just been throwing random units together and hoping for the best and hoping that they would win. But even on lower difficulties, most strategy games will still absolutely punish you if you don't follow the rules that they set. So I actually went to Reddit and I found a bunch of other people's recommendations for teams, and I actually built a few of them, and to test them out, I decided to go to the Coliseum. Now there's also a trophy behind the Coliseum, and honestly, the Coliseum is truly one of the only things on the Switch version of this game that I never really attempted or really dealt with too much. But with a Double Knight and Doom Knight combo, I decided I would take on the entire offline arena, and I actually swept everyone and managed to take down Amalia with the trophy Champion of the Coliseum. I attempted a few online matches with a couple different units and won some, lost some, but I was getting swept by people who had teams 10 levels lower than me, but they had way better team cohesion, I'm assuming, and probably items, at least I'm hoping, but I was getting completely wiped. But whatever, you know what? This video isn't about the online arena, we're going for the platinum here. Now it was time for me to return to the main campaign, and back to Albion we went. After a few fights and restoring some towns, I managed to upgrade my renown to rank S and got the trophy History Shall Speak Their Names. Some time passed and we managed to finish the main story and finish all of Albion, and with that I managed to walk away with 2 more trophies from the story, Bound by Sacred Oath and the Holy March. Also throughout the playthrough we had been rescuing escaped chickens. I didn't really find this really relevant, so I wasn't talking about it when it was happening, and I managed to finally find all of them when we went to revisit Palavia, the starting area of the game, and got the trophy Finder of Foul. Also when finishing the story on Palavia, I got the trophy Kind of Heart, which meant I had completed a total of 90 different quests. I also performed the Rite of the Covenant and chose someone for the Ring of the Maiden, which got me the trophy the Rite of the Covenant, which this then meant that I could either fight the final battle and finish the game or continue on, because there's one more thing that we needed to finish before actually continuing, which was visiting all the great sages and all 6 of the sanctuaries. Now this wasn't really necessary, but you do get some pretty nice weapons before the final battle, and there is also a trophy behind this, which is why we are going to be doing it. And so after visiting all 6 of the sanctuaries, I managed to get the trophy Wisdom of the Great Sages. During the final few fights, after we defeated Galerius and Baltroa, I managed to collect a few different trophies. Compiler of Classes, the Overlord, defeated, the Light of Fevrith, Unicorn Overlord. With those final few trophies, I was finally done with the main campaign of the game, which just meant I needed to do some final cleaning of it to finish up. The first thing I did was open the archive and scroll through it to complete 3 different trophies: a dusty bookshelf, a burgeoning library, a vast Antheum. I realized there was one final quest after the main story I had to complete for a trophy. During this quest though, I managed to get my first character to max level, and I got the trophy Paragon of Strength, and I finished the quest and got the trophy Dying Breath of an Empire Fallen. I managed to find the last remaining percents I needed to fully traverse the world and complete the trophy World Traveler for traveling 100% of the map. I then went to visit some goats to get some goat milk to actually restore some of the towns in Albion, and in the process, one of the goats got mad and, well, stole a biscuit from me. But I got a trophy, Beware Their Rage. Look, I'm not going to bore you with the remainder of the game, so I'm kind of just going to fly through these last few trophies. But I managed to find all the hidden treasure maps and complete all of them for 3 trophies: Treasure Hunter, Treasure Collector, and Treasure Master. In the process of finishing those though, I got a trophy True Benevolence for finishing 120 quests. After the treasure maps, I think I looked at my total quests, and I think I was about 142, 143. And this meant I needed to reach 150 to get one of the last remaining trophies. And that wasn't going to be a problem. I found 7 or 8 easy quests, and I managed to finish them within a few minutes and got the trophy Servant of the People. But this is where my happiness with this game essentially came to a standstill. Now I will say here, this is still one of my most favorite games of all time, but I fully restored every single town and I stationed a guard at every single one of them. But I never got the final trophy I needed, and I automatically assumed the game glitched and bugged the trophy, because I remember reading when you finish restoring all towns in an area, you get a cutscene, and I saw the cutscene for Cornea itself and I assumed I was finally done, but it never popped. I spent hours looking on Google, Reddit, trying trying to find an answer if anyone experienced the same issue as me, but nobody had problems with it. I mean, there was a few different things, but it wasn't exactly matching up with what I needed. I mean, I looked at every single town in the game and made sure I had fully restored it and made sure to place guards at every single one of them, even though that wasn't necessary to double check to make sure that they were restored. But after hours of complaining to myself, I decided I would just restart the game and try again. I wasn't happy about this at all, but I wanted the platinum trophy so I could make this video for you guys. But I told myself I didn't want to burn myself out of this game and play for another 20 hours trying to finish the main story as fast as possible just to restore every single town. Oh, and if you're curious, I finished the first playthrough of this game in less than 30 hours, which I would have got the last trophy would it have completed, but whatever. I put about 8 hours into the new playthrough and I got tired and decided I was burnt out and I wanted to look at a town by town guide to see if I missed any. So when looking through the guide, I did notice that there was one liberation that I had missed, but it wasn't an actual town you could restore. It was one of the ones that led to the final boss of the game. So didn't count, I couldn't restore that town. Finally, I decided to revisit Reddit again and found a complete map and searched through Albion, Elfheim, Drakenhold, and no luck in finding any new towns that I didn't already have. But when looking through Bastorius, I noticed something. I was missing a town in the bottom of the map where there should be one, but I didn't have it on my screen. So I went there and I found the last liberation that I could potentially need. I finished the mission and I restored the town and it finally popped. Feverith restored. With that came the platinum, almighty unicorn, and we were finally done. Man, what a ride that game was. I had a ton of fun with it. Even if it was my second playthrough, I wasn't exactly gaining anything from the story or gameplay itself, but it was still refreshing to play the game. I felt like I went into it knowing more and still managed to learn a lot about the game. Even with playing on story mode though, I had to watch my matchups for the certain characters that I had. Sure, there are some characters who are complete powerhouses regardless of who you team them up with, but look, that's not what you're here for. The platinum was overall extremely enjoyable, especially since it helped you kind of experience a bit more of the game than just the overall story. Plus, it wasn't exactly difficult, and it didn't exactly take me 50 plus hours like I originally thought. Even without adding that extra 8 to 10 hours I put into the game for the last trophy, I would have completed this in under 30 hours, which isn't a complete nightmare to be completely honest with you, especially for the size of this game and what it actually holds. But hey, there's my platinum review of Unicorn Overlord. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to hit the like button and subscribe. Comment any games you want to see me platinum or 100%, and I will see you in the next one.